What's up everyone, TheGame2k2 here again, and I would like to wish everyone a very happy Halloween. And today, since it is Halloween, I'm going to review the 1978 horror film, Halloween. Halloween was an independent horror film that was directed by John Carpenter for a low budget of $300,000. Halloween is about a man named Michael Myers who has just escaped from a mental hospital. As a young boy, he killed his older sister on Halloween night. He's hunted down by his doctor, Dr. Sam Loomis. Loomis already knows where to look for him, in his old town of Haddonfield. We then meet a girl named Laurie Strode and her two friends Linda and Annie. We learn that Laurie and Annie are babysitting on the night of Halloween, and Linda is pretty much partying. Laurie keeps seeing a man in a white mask throughout the day who turns out to be Michael Myers. Dr. Loomis makes his way towards Haddonfield and seeks the aid of a local sheriff, Annie's father, Sheriff Lee Brackett. Dr. Loomis spends most of the day looking at Michael's old house, keeping a lookout for Michael. While this is going on, Laurie is babysitting a little boy named Tommy, Annie is babysitting a little girl named Lindsay, and Linda is making out with a boy. Annie leaves Lindsay with Laurie because she wants to meet a boy as well. Michael, however, kills Linda and her date and eventually kills Annie as well. He then chases down Laurie and the kids. Laurie apparently kills Michael Myers and tells the kids to look for help. Michael, however, rises and tries to kill Laurie, but she is saved by Dr. Loomis. The first Halloween is actually the easiest to follow in the entire series. Despite the long summary, all it is girls being chased by a killer, and that's really it. I love the character development, particularly the characters of Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode. The character of Dr. Loomis is my favorite. While you really don't see his past in the beginning, you already know that he has had a tough life working with Michael Myers, and I thought that was really cool. Laurie's character is developed as the responsible girl who could do no wrong, while the characters of Annie and Linda were developed as the rule breakers and the girls who just wanted to have fun. While that is a very old-fashioned formula today, I still think it works just as well in today's day and age. Despite popular belief, Halloween is not really that violent. The stabbing and the deaths are not really shot in detail. You really only see the character of Michael motioning that he's going to kill a person and the other character's reaction to it. I always thought that worked better than showing the stabbing in great detail like future Halloween movies. I also love Halloween's version of scares. It's all based on suspense, like Laurie being trapped in the closet while Michael is trying to break in. One of the most memorable elements in the Halloween movie is its music. The Halloween theme is one of the greatest horror tunes ever made. There are also great piano tunes for the more slower moments in the movie, and a great tune for when Michael is chasing Laurie. Then we have the acting. Overall, the acting is just plain phenomenal. Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis is one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in a horror film. One of my favorite scenes was his speech to Sheriff Brackett about his history with Michael Myers. This was Jamie Lee Curtis's first big role, and in my opinion, it was her best performance. Curtis pulls the role off perfectly because you really feel sympathy for her character. Charles Cyphers as Sheriff Brackett is very good as well. Cyphers has great chemistry with Donald Pleasence. One of the most entertaining performances comes from PJ Soles as Linda. She is just hilarious as that character. Nancy Kyes as Annie Brackett is also very good. Then there is the character of Michael Myers. Nick Castle was the first to play the man in the mask, and in my opinion was the best. You know that Michael is an evil character, but you can also tell that he's human. He's not the big robot that he would become later in the franchise. Overall, Halloween is simply a classic. The story, the characters, and the scares are just plain perfect. They can try to remake this movie all they want, but the truth is that there will never be a movie that can match the original. Well everyone, that wraps up my review of the Halloween franchise. I hope you enjoyed it, and to close out my review of this franchise, let's watch one of my favorite scenes from the first Halloween.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
What do we do?
He's been here once tonight. I think he'll come back. I'm going to wait for him.
I still think I should notify the radio and television.
No. If you do that, they'll see him in every street corner. They'll look for him in every house. Just tell your men to keep their mouths shut and their eyes open.
I'll check back in an hour.